Well, I have been walking for the best part of 4 miles and I think I'm now finally out Inverness. I thought I was out and then there's a new housing scheme, so I whittled my way through there and now I think I'm finally left Inverness. I'll let you have a look. So just come up there. There you go. That's the new housing scheme down in there. There's Inverness, it's huge. So, I'm going to continue up here. I think I'm at least back on the track. And let's go camp. Okay, so day 1, map time, and the start is just up here, and I got off the train about 2 o'clock-ish, and just to get all the way up through here was about 4 miles, because it's huge. This map just doesn't really do it much justice. Come up through here, not a problem, and there's a fair pull coming up here. Like, once we hit here, oh, there we go, all the way down here, trundled along quite happily, and I've just cut down into here, this wee bit here at Blackfold Croft, which is put your money in a donation box, just rock up, pitch up. So happy days. So tomorrow we'll be down into Drumnadrochit, which I think is about 12.5 miles. Today was an easy one, 7.4 miles I think it was. Wait you see the state of my tent. It's a riot. Wait you see the nick of my Empire biscuits. Look. Mashed up. But I'll still manage to eat them. Well, good morning. I have been up, I've had my porridge, I'm now drinking my coffee. I'm actually dressed and going to sort all this stuff out. Thankfully there's a wee bit of wind, I don't know if you can really see it on the tent. There's a bit of wind, so that means no midges when packing away. Happy days. Let's go. Well, good morning. I'm just about to leave Blackfold, which is a wee croft that's owned by Alan and Jess. And I've had a good chat with Alan this morning, explained how they came across this place, how they came to buying it. And essentially, as he's put it, you are allowed to camp in their garden just now, which is ideal. So I'll take you for a wee walkabout. And I believe the caravan that they have just now is used as a small Airbnb. So if you don't have a tent, that's an option. And let's go have a wee explore. So just now it is basic and it's a donation you put in, but it's kind of ideally positioned because it's a long stretch from Drumnadrochit to Inverness. I came from Inverness yesterday afternoon, and I think it was about 3.5-4 hours to get here. So Good place to stop if you're kind of breaking that last leg or your first leg up. So there's running fresh water, which is handy. Wee picnic bench, wee pond, wee tent-pie. Alan was explaining that they're obviously redoing the cottage instead of knocking down and building new. They've gotten that. They're hoping to have compost and toilets and a shower. And here's my pitch from last night. Everything is pretty much packed away. Just a tent to drop. And then off we go. Okay folks. So if you're coming from Inverness, you come along here. You go through that gate there. And then you would turn down there, literally is 2 minutes to Blackfold Croft. If you're coming the other way, Drumnadrochit, you'll see this, and then you'll hang a right. Easy peasy. Nice and quiet this morning. Apart for the squeak of my shoes. So I've been trundling along this road for what seems ages. And as everybody knows, I hate tarmac walking. Well, I don't particularly hate it, but my knees don't. So then we've got a wee turn sign here. Yay, back into the woods. But before the woods, let's go and read the honesty box, because I could do a wee munch. I don't really know what our choice is, but let's have a look and see. Happy days. I've just downed a can of orange Lucozade and munched a packet of ice ring biscuits. Still got the squeak going. Happy days. It's like a wee adventure in the woods. Peekaboo. Okay, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of this place. Arabachin or something like that. So yeah, you can go in. I'm not, because I've just scoffed myself at the honesty box. And I think by the Facebook, you pay maybe a flat 20 and you get soup and nibbles and cake, and it's like a platter of stuff. Which, if I was hungry right now, I probably would, you know. Cake. Yep. But fresh food, not today. Well, that's the first signpost I've seen in a long time. Culturality. Don't know what that says. I don't even know if you can see it. And Drumnadrochit, 10.8 kilometres. What's that, just over 6 miles? Happy days. That's the name of that place I was trying to pronounce. Affric. I think I'm going down here. Let's go. It appears it is decision time. I never really thought about this at all, to be honest. So I can either take the high route or the low route. But essentially I was only really using the Great Glen Way to get to Drumnadrochit. And it is only 12:30. So, I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to have a wee wander down here, and there's maybe, I don't know, picnic benches or something, and have a seat, and I think. I'll get back to you on that. Well folks, that is Loch Ness. I think I'm maybe about 4 miles or something to Drumnadrochit. Not that far. Just come down there. And I'm going down through here. And I don't know. Just something eerie about these woods. It's just quiet. Well, I don't know if you can really see that, but that is Affric Castle. Across there. And I think I'm starting to come into civilization. I don't think I can be that far away anyway. I just thought, in case you thought I was really clever knowing that that was Affric Castle, I didn't. I looked at this. Getting there, nearly. I can see the sign. Woohoo! And there's definitely going to be a pint with my name on it. Happy days. Well, this is going to be a new experience. Definitely not going up top bunk. I've bagged this one. We have another human here. And I'm going to guess by the size of the flip-flops it might be a male. I think I'll be up and away early. Well, good morning folks. It is just after 8 o'clock, and given the sign behind me, I have now left Drumnadrochit and I have left the Great Glen Way, and I'm now going to bounce onto Affric Kintail Way. Now, the forecast this morning was supposed to be chucking rain, but at the minute it's not, so I'll just take that. I stopped at Co-op for a banana and a sandwich. I think I'll get about 16 or 17 miles a day, so I'm just slow and steady. We'll get there in the end. I'll catch you later. Well, I think that's Arkett Bay of Loch Ness, so I'm leaving that, and I have came along this and I've followed the signs, the postings, and according to my OS I'm on the wrong path, but hey ho. And I'm wondering if I'll be going up through there. I don't know if you can see that path up there. See it up there? Just where all the rain is. I dare say I'll find out. Well, looky. think, why am I so excited? It's supposed to be absolutely pissing rain. Happy days. I can only pray that they've got the forecast wrong for tomorrow as well. Hee hee. I just can't understand why my shoes are still squeaking. Ah, look, blue sky still, and sunshine. Happy days. Looks like rain away over there. Hopefully it stays there. Well, good morning folks. I left Cannock at 6:30. I think it's about 7 o'clock. I'll pull up this hill. And here's my first sign for today. There we go. So this is day 2 on Affric Kintail. And it's going to be a bruiser of a day. It's going to be a challenge. Because it's 20 odd mile. I didn't set the challenge, the weather set the challenge. So I'm just going to put my head down and 1 foot after another. I'll get there eventually. Just by saying I've got a load of miles a day, and here I am, off the track, sightseeing. I think that's Corrie Dunn or something down there. Well, technically I should be over the other side of the water, walking through that forest. But between yesterday and this morning, I've had enough of the forest. So I thought, I'll come along the road, which allows me a steady pace to bash out this 20 odd mile. And let's face it, I'm still seeing the same scenery at the minute. I think the most interesting bit is going to be when the road ends and the stretch to the youth hostel, then further on to Morvich. So let's bash this tarmac. Well, don't know if you can see that sign there. So that's me just turned off the forestry track. 5 miles of boredness Honestly, I probably would have been as well just walking along the road. But thankfully now, we're down into a wee bit of woodland. I think this will take me down across the road to Dog Falls. Don't know, but we'll find out. And yes, it has been raining and I am wet, but once you're wet, you're wet. Well, that looks creepy. Alright, so let's go and have a look there. Oh, that is definitely creepy. Ugh, enough. Off we go. I feel like I'm getting nowhere fast today. But now I'm just doubling back off that forest track. And I think I did see a bit of road, so I think I must be down on the road for a bit. Hey ho. Getting there. It's not raining at this minute. But it's still really muggy. Well, it's definitely raining now. It's about 2 o'clock. I stopped at 12 o'clock because I happened to have a picnic bench. So I stopped for a good half hour. Had my lunch, even had a coffee. I think I've got about 5 miles to go. It's about 2-ish. But yeah, that's proper raining. I'll let you have a look. I dare say this would be absolutely stunning if it was dry and bright, maybe. I don't think there's much chance of that happening today. Well, just need to keep going. Well, as you can tell, it is absolutely pissing down. And that was where I wanted to camp. But because of this weather coming in, I thought, no, let's just book the hostel and walk now another 5 miles. Not so happy days. Well, the rain has certainly eased a bit. Thankfully. And I think I'm going up that wee track up over there, up into that glen. I don't even know how many miles I've got left. 3 or 4 maybe, hopefully, don't know. It's quiet, isn't it? Well, the winds didn't seem to come to much because the midges are out already. It's true about the rain. Well, it is off a bit now. And I've yet to see the hostel. But aye, that's quite nice. I'll give it that. Well, there's definitely been a lot of rain. Yep. Doesn't really matter, to be fair, because my feet are wet anyway. And believe it or not, I've still got my shorts on. So, swim on through. Well, I've made it to West Affric. Wait, you see this? Oh my! Oh my god, finally. 21.5 miles and I am broke. Absolutely broke. I've just walked a plank over a river and honest to God, I thought I was going to shit my pants. Jesus, man. I actually do question my life choices. Like, it's pissing rain, I've got shorts on, I've done 21.5 miles. I'm still laughing. I must be fucking nuts. I'll spin you around and have a look. I've came for miles, like miles all the way in there. And there we go, that hut is the hostel. And that is where I'm staying the night, and I might just never fucking leave the way I'm feeling. But I'm done. I did it. Challenge done. Happy days. I'm still alive. Tired legs. And I just want to be dry and have a wee seat and a cup of tea. Saturday and I slept great last night. The winds kicked off about 8 o'clock, so I hope the folk that I passed in tents did okay, and the wind just never let up all night. Just now it's not too bad, but when the gusts hit you side on, not so much fun. But I'll spin you around and let you have a wee look at the glen. It definitely looks much nicer when the rain. But way in that distance, let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see that orange dot right there. tomorrow beach. Hopefully it doesn't rain, and hope the wind's calm a bit at least. So I've just come up over there. My God, it is windy. I think that might be a dunny, because this is a bothy. So I'm going to take 5 minutes out the wind. Let's have a wee look. It's nice about the wind anyway. Oh. Sleep plenty in here. Yeah. No fire in there. Squeaky door. Oh, look. Cool. I think this is Camden, Bothy, if I remember right. Let's have a look at here. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to stop for 5 minutes and have my banana. Or even hear me, but I think there's a wee something down there. Don't actually know. Maybe it's a bothy. We pitch our tent in here for the night. We're sheltered. Let's go and see the view. Not bad. finally made it out of Glen onto the road. I'm just going to keep heading to Mordich, and I'm done. I've probably done half the distance today I've done yesterday. So I'll just keep going now, see what happens. Well, after a rest day yesterday, which was a nice day, today we've got about 16 miles. Been at the bus stop at Shiel Bridge to go down to Cluny to get back on the trail, and as you can see, it is pissing rain. Happy days. I think a few days ago I was directly over the other side of those hills at the hostel, and today I'm out this way, and I don't know if you can see that path there. There's it, just going up along there and then up and over. Well, there's not much view-wise today, and I think it's to be like this to 8-9 o'clock tonight. So I'll just keep walking till I find a decent pitch, and I'll just stop. Not bad for today. Well, this is going to be fun. Don't know if you can see that loch there. I need to be going up and over this hill, but first I need to get down into there and down and then round with no path. Well, I've made it down off of there through the bog. It's clearing a wee bit, rain's not just as heavy. And from what I think, if I go to the right of that tree, beeline for that tree and go right, and then I think I'll go straight up there. Just, oh, there's my finger there, up there, I think, and down off the other side. Hopefully, we'll see. Now there's the next challenge. I need to get across this. So there are some kind of rocks here. I think it's still pretty deep in the middle. I might go further downstream and see if I can go, but I don't want to go too far that way because I really need to be going this way. Well, safe to say I made it across the river up to my knees and it was bloody freezing. So now I just need to get my bearings and figure out where I'm going over this. Which is not so easy when you don't really know what's at the other side. But I will find out. Well, not that you can actually see anything, but I've finally made it up and over that beast of a hill. Now I'm going this way, and I can't remember the name of that loch. I want to say Loch Keogh maybe, and I think I will go down, drop right down and then along, hopefully, and hopefully this wee bit of path stays as a path. Well, finally, all the way down, and it is absolute bog fest, ankle deep all the way. And I'll tell you, that was a rough 9 mile. I think I'm going to have a seat in this bridge. Well, it's absolutely torrential rain, has been for the last few hours. I'm walking along this road, I don't know, 5-6 mile. I'm hoping that my bridge turn off is not that far, and then I'm going to pray and get a campsite or something, just anything. I don't actually care, I just want to be able to pitch my tent because I'm fed up being wet. And the only thing that's keeping me going, tomorrow and the next day is supposed to be sunshine, hopefully. Well, it's not a bad view for the tent this morning. At least it's dry, which makes a good start to the day. Good morning! Yep, it is still morning. Oh, how nice is it not to be raining? Quite enjoying my wee saunter along this morning. Hopefully I'll get to a camp spot at a reasonable time, so at least I can maybe dry some stuff out. So, on the homeward road, I'll spin you around if you have a look. So, I've got to guess if you can see up through there. I think today's another maybe 15-16 miles, maybe more. I'll see how I feel, and depending where I get a camp. Well, after here, missed a turn off for this path because I was trundling down the forest track. Then realised, but hey ho, at least I realised quite soon. Yep, my shoes still squeak. Quite nice, to be fair. So it's about 1 o'clock, and this is me now joining the Great Glen Way again, and just topped up the water. Tent hanging over the gate, and I'm going to have a packet of crusts and a sandwich. Cheese, peas. Happy days. Even the sun's making an appearance today. I think once I'm down a bit, I'll start running alongside Loch Lochy. I think. I could be wrong. We shall see. So I've cut down off the woods. And I'm going to drop down and follow the canal because I am hopeful for an ice cream. Kind of glad I came this way, even if I don't get ice cream. Not a bad wee view. And this is now the new route. The lower route is no longer. So I did read a sign, but I can't remember what it said. Somebody's put this path in. Somebody with powering through water and cutting the trees down. Don't know. But to be fair, on a day like today, I'm really not moaning. Great views. So I decided I would either walk 20 miles or 7 o'clock for a camp spot, and it's just turned 7 o'clock and I'm at 19 miles, so no bad guess. So hopefully this is going to kind of drop down closer to the loch side, and then I'll get a camp. Finally, the last camp of this trip. Not a bad pitch. Well, this just has to be the best place to wake up and have your morning cup of tea. So it is the last day, and that is my last coffee on camp. But it is going to be a nice day, and I've got easy miles today. I don't think I did mark time. If I did, I can't remember, so I'm just going to do it as a winner in case anybody's interested and wants to follow the way I went. Okay, so I started in Inverness. I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well. And coming out of Inverness, which is here, that 4 mile slog was pretty boring. Hence why today I'm getting a train at Banavie rather than hiking through the streets to Fort William. So day one, I come all the way down here, and there's a wee croft at Blackfold. You can see that. And it's just a donation. There is a wee bit in my video about Blackfold, so I gave them a tenner. And day 2, I come down here all the way into Drumnadrochit. So that was 13.6 miles. And I stayed in the backpackers hostel, which was 25 quid. Okay, so day 3 from Drumnadrochit, I joined the Affric Kintail Way and did the best part of 17 miles all the way along here. And I did use the new route. I did speak to a couple who did the boring road walk, but no, I would recommend that. It was quite good. It's a good track path all the way. And down into Cannock, where I walked onto Cannock campsite. It was a tenner, so that was a good day. So from Cannock, this was a big day. The weather forecast, high winds and torrential rain, made me decide to book in at the Glen Affric Youth Hostel. So I knew I had big miles, so I was up my way by about 6:30 in the morning. So I left Cannock all the way down along, and where did we join? On here, further down, all the way again. Big day, as I said. I think it was 21.6 miles or something. And then got on to here, and I would probably say for the last 3 hours, from about 2 o'clock, it was torrential rain. Thankfully the winds hadn't came at that point, so only one evil. Right all the way along to the youth hostel. Now, I booked it because of bad weather. It was £35. Not overly impressed. You couldn't drink the water because it tested for bacteria. So, but hey ho. If I'd kind of thought, or if I was doing it again, I probably would have camped, let me see, about here. Right there. There's a fisherman's hut. Probably would have camped there. And then maybe came along past the hostel, and then probably would have had a night at Bothy. But hey ho. So the next day, the Saturday, the winds were horrendous. I have never experienced anything like that. So I set off, not mega early, about 8:30ish, because I thought it's not going to take me that long, but with the winds, it was a long hike. And it was only something like 11 miles or something. So all the way along here. And when I could see this track, and I thought, oh, this is going to be easy going, this last 3 or 4 miles out to Morvich. But the winds were worse down low level. That were just kind of obviously hurling up this glen. And thankfully, I get picked up by Caroline. Thank you again. From Morvich, and went to Shiel Bridge and spent 2 days there, 2 nights on the campsite. I think it was maybe £15 a night, but definitely worth it. Had a 0 day on the Sunday. Myself, Caroline, Hubertus went to Kintail Hotel, I think, for dinner. Thanks to Hubertus for that. He footed the bill. Very kind of him. And from there, on Monday morning, I jumped on the bus to Cluny to jump onto part of the Cape Wrath Trail. Okay, so this is Cluny. And originally I had routed to come down from the youth hostel down here to Cluny. But then when Caroline and Hubertus were going to be at Shiel Bridge, I took the option and technically then finished the whole of the Affric Kintail Way and met them. Which I'm glad I did, because there was lads at the hostel who had come up this the day before the torrential rain, and they said it was just a bog fest. So probably was on a win there. So got off the bus and come sauntering down here which was relatively easy going, I have to say. Missed this turn off, I don't know how I did that, but ended up walking a bit further and then come back. And then I actually came down, I couldn't really see the path, if I'm honest. So when I was coming down here, there's a kind of drop in this hill, which is probably this here. So I reckoned by looking at the GPS, if I made a beeline for that, which is literally what I did. So I literally came all the way down here, straight over, and finally got the path. Again, torrential rain. This was hard going. At one point I was stuck in the middle of a bog because I just couldn't get across. I was going over and back and round. Eventually got over that, crossed the river, and then up through here, down, joined this road here, which then took me along here. Now I didn't drop down onto this because, as I say, it was torrential rain and I was scun up. So I blasted along this 5 or 6 mile here, and just by Inchlangen, if you can see it there, I camped just right here. And I think that was a good 15 odd miles maybe. So from there, I dropped back down. So come along here, and this is pretty much this track all the way, either forest track or path or a wee bit of road walking along here. Come down round here, and this is joining back on to the Great Glen Way. So came down this, I actually came to here in the hope of an ice cream, but the kiosk was shut because the people are on holiday. But it was really warm by this point, so I literally lay on the grass at Lagan Locks, get fresh water, and pulled everything out my bag to dry. The inner of my tent, the outer, my waterproofs, everything. I was probably there for about an hour. And then come on down here, all the way down. Now, this here used to be the low road on the Great Glen, but that is no longer. It's not just a diversion, it is no longer, so you cannot get into here. Down here, right along, and probably about here, I think is where the kind of bare bit is. And then have come right down and have landed on an awesome camp spot just before this park. So technically Clunes, I would say. 21 miles. Big day, but it was dry, easy going, not an issue, and an awesome camp spot. So for my last day, because I put big miles in yesterday, it's a short one, hence why it's 9 o'clock and I'm still faffing about. In for Clunes, all the way down here, just following this, onto the canal, straight down, keep going. And as I say, there is a train station in Banavie, if I can find that one there. It's right about here, I think. So I'm just going to get the train there because I'm not going to do any more street walking. I'm going to have an easy day, jump on the train, and thanks to brother, he'll be picking me up. Happy days. So I think all in, probably 118 miles. So as I say, 118 miles over 9 days, 8 days walking, 1 0 day, which I really needed. The only bit I would say was a bit iffy was coming down for the Cluny and up and over that, which I think it was about 2,500 feet, so there probably has a Corbett in there somewhere. That was kind of hard going and just a bit, oh shit, if something goes wrong, I really am in the middle of nowhere. But having said that, I've enjoyed this trip, and a big thanks as always to Anne and Stevie who have watched after my boy, and I can't wait to see him. And if you have watched this far, cheers! Just done maybe a mile or so road walking, and I spied this. So as always, I've got to be nosy. It is absolutely beautiful today. And away up there, can see, and I'll zoom in, is Banavie. Not yet climbed, maybe one day. Yeah, it's not a bad spot. Probably could have managed a wee camp here, actually. Just having a wee donner about. Yeah, a wee boat in there. Right, let's get back going. One last wee look. Well, that's me joined the Caledonian Canal, and I guess that's what I'm going to be following all the way.